What's up guys, Redeemsa here. Today we're back again. In this video, we're going to be trying out a new champion, Rammus. So the reason I thought I'd give Rammus a shot is just because I've noticed a lot of team comps, especially in ranked, they've been running 3 attack damage and then 1 ability powered. And Rammus does really well into attack damage just because his second ability gives him so much bonus armor. Plus, he scales really well with building armor too. So in the late game, you pretty much just become a super tank with a bunch of CC for your team. So I thought I'd just give this a shot. Now the one downside to Rammus is that your jungle clear is pretty slow to begin with. So you kind of need a leash if your team can give you one. But you need to start off with your second ability if you are going to try Rammus, just because it gives you the bonus magic damage on your basic attacks. And then your third ability next to get the extra bonus attack speed. Since when you use your third ability, you taunt him and you get bonus attack speed, so that helps you get your clear. Now with Rammus, of course, the reason why I wanted to upload this gameplay, I know that a lot of people might not want to be playing Rammus or something like that, but I think it's just really important to understand the different champs, how you need to play and what their win conditions are. And for Rammus, your farming is really bad. Like, look how slow I'm taking this. It's taken quite a while. But your ganking is super good, just because your first ability gives you so much movement speed, and you can easily get onto lanes and just gank a champ. So actually, I was going to go and gank top lane, but our Garen was able to get that. So now I see that Mundo's on the bot side. So with Rammus, that's actually why I went for a 3-camp jungle clear, was because I want to focus more on ganking and helping my teammates. Because if I just keep on farming and farming and farming, I'm just going to be wasting so much time and not really be contributing much. So instead, I'm actively going to be looking to roam. And actually, they're running a Mundo, so it's like a battle of 2 tanks in the jungle. Mundo is better against ability power. Rammus is better against attack damage. So here, they actually keep on engaging that. I think they thought I was going to leave, but look how fast you can just re-engage. Plus, that taunt is so nasty when actually ganking. And this cannon kind of trolled a bit here, and they entered that. Yeah, you pretty much just go a full tank build, and you upgrade your first ability first, because once you have your first ability maxed, the cooldown on it is like 5 seconds. It's pretty insane. So you're just so fast, and you can get around the map so quickly. So over here now, I'm looking for lanes to gank. Again, I'm looking at that top side. I see that bot side maybe. I was going to gank that top side, because look at where that wave is. But the Riven recalled. That's a really important thing to look at when deciding what lanes to gank, where the wave is. Since if you see where that wave is on the top side, that's an ideal gank, like if the Riven stays. Just because you can tell where the champs are going to be positioned, just based off where the wave is, and the Riven's going to be overextended for that wave if he did stay. But now I'm just heading bot side just because he recalled. So yeah, they had that scuttle there, so I just decided to clear this up until I see a good gank. Now again, the one downside to Rammus, and why I might not suggest like trying to one-trick him or something, is because early on your damage isn't really much. Like, you need a team to follow up. You don't really want to be going for too many skirmishes like just by yourself, because your early game is relatively weak. And really what you're doing is you're just a giant tank that taunts people and knocks them and stuns them up for your teammates. So that's actually why I decided to pick in this comp, just because I thought we would have reliable damage. It works really well with other dive champs, so we had a Garen this match, and Kennen, I was like, I can easily just dive in with them and soak up like anything I need to. And I'm just getting the scuttle. Oh, and this is another really important thing. When that dragon is spawning, this scuttle is so important if you can get this, just because it gives you entire vision of the entire river next to a dragon. And over here, I barely messed up that smite. I think it was 7 over. That was a little unfortunate. See, another thing though is, if you are playing a jungler, don't force the ganks. Like, if you don't see any good ganks, don't try and go for some crazy turret dive and then feed the enemy laner, because that's one of the worst things you could do that'll like tilt your laners. If you gank a lane and die while doing it to that laner, that's not going to make your teammates very happy. But over here now, I realize I'm kind of in a weird spot. Again, I don't want to be going for these small skirmishes where my teammates can't follow up. So that's why it's best not to do that. Over here, I see the Mundo's actually around. I'm kind of just ghosting him in case he does go for an engage. And now I'm going to get recalling because with that Dragon Spawn, I can get my Sunfire Aegis now and have my first item. And then actually go to my blue side. The reason I go to my blue side is because I'm pretty sure we aren't going to fight for that dragon soon. And our mid laner's recalling, so I'm like, I can farm this up, but a key thing to do is don't gank this top lane right now. And the reason for that is if I gank that top lane, then their Mundo knows that I'm topside, and he can easily just rush that dragon while I'm topside. So now he doesn't really know where I am, so he's not going to start it up just because he thinks I might be around. But if I do gank that top lane, then they're definitely going to start that up. Actually, let me rephrase that. Don't gank that top lane if you can't get anything worthwhile out of it. If you know you can get a kill, get that first turret or something, it's definitely worth it, but don't just go there and get nothing done and then screw yourself and your team over for the dragon. I see our Garen's on his way, so I don't think the no Garen's here. And over here, we're just able to chase this down. You just offer so much CC and tank with Rammus. Plus your taunt is pretty insane. So now this Mundo just used his ult. He's able to kill the cannon, but that's fine. Now I'm like, we can go for this dragon actually. And the reason I'm fine with trying to force something here is because I know Mundo just used ult. I just saw him use that ult, and without his ult, he really won't be able to do too much. So I do want to force a fight sometime soon, if possible. And actually, I'm pretty sure he's going towards Herald since I saw him walk that way. And that's a little bit of a risky call. So I'm here. I know he doesn't have ult at all. He's kind of low. I don't think he thought... I think he thought I was going to go to Dragon. So we start to head towards Herald. But we're actually able to get that. And I was able to secure the Herald, but I do go down here. They're definitely much faster in rotating. I'm not sure where our mid laner was, but they got way better rotate. Their entire team rotated for that. But here now, our team is just able to clean this up, I think. Ooh, no, they barely lived that. And now I actually have this Herald, so you could do a couple things with Herald. One, you could push the first turret if nobody's gotten first turret yet, because if you didn't know, first turret is worth a lot of gold. Like, I think it's 1,000 gold for your entire team, and it's 200 for each person, so that is quite a decent amount. So you could use Herald for that, or you could use it as like a distraction for Dragon if you want, or just to push turrets if you want. So over here now, this first Dragon is up. I'm like, I could probably drop this in mid, and then we could rotate to Dragon and probably force a fight there, or try and get it while they're having to deal with Herald. So we actually got the first turret. Garen got it on top side, which is good. So for now, I just go over here, drop it, and now I start heading here. Because I know that some of them are going to be distracted with that in mid side. And now we're just chasing down this Mundo. I'm able to get a nice taunt in. But look at that. Look at how long that taunt is and how disruptive that is, even against a Mundo. It's just so obnoxious to deal with. And now with their jungler down, I know I can take this and smite it, and I'll be good. And actually I can go and get my Thornmill now, so that'll really help against Mundo. And over here, I'm checking on my Garen. I'm not sure what he was up to. He went in kind of deep there. Had to make sure he was alright. But yeah, pairing this champ with other high CC heroes, like, if you get rooted by Lux and then stunned by me and then taunted by me, then you're probably going to get deleted. And this works really well too, since they don't have the biggest front line, so it's hard to keep me off of them. I can easily engage onto them, other than the Mundo. The rest of their comp isn't too bad to deal with. So now over here, we're in a weird spot. We're still trying to get that turret on the bot side over there. And I'm like, we should just leave this. I want to go and shop, actually. I do have the Braum, but the Braum's actually kind of far behind, so he's not really too tanky. And then I just ult right in and get a taunt onto their Riven, and he's just dead. Able to get the smite for the kill. Now we're really just pushing. I see that Asol is rotating from mid. I don't know why they kept on chasing that far. That was definitely an overextend on their parts. So yeah, now I'm finally getting a shop, and that's so much gold on me. But if you can get to late game with Rammus, you can offer your team so much. In team fights especially. Really, the only thing you have to watch out for is, one, you don't want to fall too far behind in gold, because if you are ganking, you need to try and get kills, or you still need to be doing some farming, because if you do fall behind, then you aren't going to be as tanky or anything. But really, that's just the key, not to fall behind in the early game. If you could do that, you will be set for the late game. Yeah, notice how short the cooldown on my first ability is. I think it's like 4 or 5 seconds. Let's see when it comes out. 4 seconds, that's pretty insane. Plus my taunt cooldown is only like 8 seconds, 7 or 8. And the taunt, I think it lasts 2 seconds. So that's a pretty long taunt. I actually max it second, because one, it increases the taunt duration, and it also... And that asshole just flashed away, he was not about to get taunted. It increases the taunt duration, and also helps with your jungle clear speed, since it gives you more bonus attack speed. So that's nice. Now over here, I'm just kind of keeping an eye on where they're rotating to, what they're trying to do. The Lux is recalling, so I'm just backing off too. Looks like our team's just resetting. Yeah, I realize Rammus might not be the most exciting gameplay. I'll definitely get in some... I'll get in some, like, Lee Sin or Camille next. I'll get that in probably tomorrow or the day after. But, like, look at that damage and the CC from me and the Garen. Plus, we're so tanky, like, they just can't kill us. So if you're, like, a laner watching this, something you could take away is focus on what the enemy jungler wants to do, what they're good at. So, like, in this case, I'm playing Rammus, so I'm going to be ganking a lot. I have really good ganks. So that's something to watch out for if you are going to be overextending. Make sure to have good vision set up. And that's something that a lot of laners do need to pay attention to, and that they don't. Like, what the enemy jungler is like, let's say you're going up against a Shyvana early game. You don't have to be too worried about a gank just because they can't particularly do too much. But let's say it's a Lee Sin, Rammus. Those are really good gank heroes, and that's something that you need to be more careful of and aware of when you are pushing out your wave and managing your lane. But another thing is, I'm not just using my ultimate, because if you didn't know, when you use your first ability and then your ultimate, you knock up enemies in the middle, so I think we're about to see that here, but I don't just use my ultimate, because if you just use your ultimate, it just does a little bit of damage, and really it's the knock up and stun that you want from it. So over here now, I'm just taunting their damage carries and stunning them up pretty much. You also have really good chase down just because of your movement speed and ult. So if you're going to notice how when you use your first ability and then your ult, you knock them up and boom. But anyways, that's going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't. Check out my other videos. And thanks for watching. Comment down below, and I'll see you all in the next video.